associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
Thom, can you get me a little typeset?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a Baumhauer's Tuesday here in the Doghouse. This is your tournament headquarters. There's no better place to be than right here for all of the action between the men's and women's tourneys. They've got the slam dunk specials here at Baumhauer's where you can enjoy dunkable favorites such as the Bam Bam Shrimp, the award-winning traditional buffalo wings, or the char-grilled dippin' chicken, all specials starting at just $8.99 here at Baumhauer's, and some 80 TVs here all around the building. And, of course, they're not on March Madness right now because there is no March Madness right now, but you can see different shows that are on here and ESPN programming that is on. There's some tennis that is on and all kinds of different things that are on here at Baumhauer's. But the star at Baumhauer's is the food. I had the chicken lips plain with honey mustard dipping sauce and the famous curly fries for lunch here at Baumhauer's, and it is just absolutely tremendous. Both the men and the women's tourneys are being shown here. And speaking of the women, the Sweet 16 is set and over there as well, and it's basically all chalk. I've said this again, and I'll say it forever. There's no need for 64 teams in the women's deal. I mean, it just isn't. There was a total of 3 lower seeds that won in the first 48 games of the women's tournament. And 2 of the 3 lower seeds that won were a 5 beating a 4. The lowest seed to win was MTSU, which we saw twice right here at the VBC, which won the Conference USA tournament and was vastly underseeded at number 11, and they beat number 6 Louisville. That's the only upset of note. The other 2 were 5 beating a 4. Let me get out of here with that, a 5 beating a 4. I mean, it's crazy. On the men's side, there have been 13 lower seeds win so far. And we have an 11 and a 6 in the Sweet 16. If you look at the Sweet 16 on the women's side, it's all 1-4, 1-4, 2-3, 2-3. I mean, that's basically the way it is. That's what you ended up with over there. And speaking of the women's game, which I don't speak of much, I have made a decision on Caitlin Clark. We have an official decision from the leader of the Doghouse on Caitlin Clark. We should have breaking news. Maybe we have breaking news. There we go. Your leader has made a decision on Caitlin Clark. I don't like her. I think she's a whiny punk. I think she's a ball hog. I think she takes time off on the court. She's a great shooter. There's no doubt about it. A great shooter, but I don't like her. The game was tied. I think, who were they playing? West Virginia or something like that last night? The game was tied. And at one particular point in time, West Virginia goes with a skip pass, a cross-court skip pass to a girl for a wide-open 3. The girl is at the 3-point line. Caitlin Clark is in the paint. It's her person, whether they're in matchup zone or whether they were in man-to-man or woman-to-woman or whatever the heck they call it, chick-to-chick. And they go skip pass, And Caitlin Clark just stands in the paint and watches the girls shoot. She makes zero effort to get out there and cover that girl. Zero. Another time, they're going down the floor the other way. Game is tied, or they're maybe up just a little bit, and there's a girl driving. Caitlin Clark is standing outside the three-point line, and she's jumping up and down. She's open. She's got her hand up in the air, and she's jumping up and down like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And she just, the girl just takes it to the rack, makes the layup. I'm just saying, okay? Don't like her. Whining, dropping F-bombs on people out there. I don't think she's a great sport. And she's the greatest women's shooter in the game, but there is more to basketball than just shooting, right? Than just jacking up shots. I don't even know if she's the best player in college basketball. They're talking about her like she's Babe Ruth. I don't know that she's the best player. All right, so there it is. There's your decision on Caitlin Clark. Agree or disagree, or don't even care. I don't like her. David Moulton, whose show Miller and Moulton in the Morning, I promise you will soon be heard on our sister station, Talk Radio WZZN. He's coming up in a few minutes to talk some tourney with us and the new rules in the NFL. And we'll get more on that here in a moment. The Elite Eight bracket is set in that best college football stadium contest that the website Until Saturday is running. Bryant-Denny Stadium was upset by Jordan-Hare in a 2v5 matchup. Oh, yeah. This is fan voting now. All right. And Bryant-Denny Stadium got 52.9% of the vote, basically 53% of the vote, and Bryant-Denny got 47% of the vote. Now, the criteria is game day atmosphere, tailgate scene, noise, and best name or nickname. All right? And Auburn takes down the Tide in the Iron Bowl of stadium matchups. I mean, can anyone who is a fan of either be objective in this? I mean, is there anyone who is a fan of Auburn say, but Bryant-Denny, nicer stadium, nicer atmosphere, the little Denny Chimes thing, that, the tailgating. Can anyone who is a fan of the Tide say, that Jordan-Hare's pretty noisy. I mean, I know that it's a little stadium. It only holds like 82,000 or something. But it's pretty noisy, and they had the ribbon board and the light show before we did. Can anyone have an objective, or is this strictly fans? And if it's strictly fans, how is it that 53% of Auburn fans got through and only 47% of Alabama fan got through to vote on that thing? What is up with that? I mean, does anyone think that Auburn has more fans than Alabama? Nationwide, this is a nationwide poll. They showed up, man. They showed up. Let me tell you who else showed up. Michigan fans. The Big House, 68.6% took down the Horseshoe at 31.4%. According to the story, it says, for all the backlash the Big House gets in voters' responses, quote, a huge hole in the ground, end quote. The fan experiences make you feel like a sardine. Michigan Stadium tied Penn State's Beaver Stadium for the largest margin of victory in round two, as Beaver Stadium took down Lane Stadium as well. Wow. I mean, Ohio State just can't do anything against Michigan. They can't even get their fans to vote for their stadium. At least those stadiums have nicknames, right? We don't have that here. Bryant-Denny Stadium doesn't have a nickname, unless you want to call it like, home of champions. I mean, Jordan-Hare doesn't have a nickname, does it? Unless you want to say Jordan-Hare as a nickname, even though it's Jordan-Hare. We got to call it Jordan-Hare, or you get yelled at by Auburn fan. Very interesting. In the Elite Eight, Jordan-Hare is up against Neyland Stadium, which took out Clemson Memorial Stadium. 4 SEC venues are left in the Elite Eight. Half of the stadiums in the Elite Eight in this fan vote are SEC stadiums, including Tiger Stadium in LSU and Kyle Field, which are pitted against each other. Now, I have been to the other three. I've never been to Kyle Field. I'll tell you that right now. I've never been to Texas A&M. So I don't know. I don't know anything about it. We'll ask Moulton. Phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. Get you into the show. That's 256-576-4977. That's how you get in. You can text the show at 732-9TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469. That is also where you send your inquiry if you're interested in putting a team in our WZZN charity golf tournament at Cherokee Ridge, presented by Talent Heating and Air to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So if you want in on that or you want to know anything about it, it's $200 a man, $800 a team, or you can sponsor a hole. I can give you the information if you got a business and you want to sponsor a hole. But if you want in on that, go ahead and text me, and I will put you on a list. I'll reserve a spot for you on a list. You don't need to deposit or anything like that yet, but I'll put you on a list. That number is 732-982-7469. That is the text window. There's information about the tournament posted at the Facebook page, which is at 97.7 ESPN. There is information on Twitter, which is also at 97.7 ESPN. Now, my personal X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The YouTube channel is WZZN TV, and you can watch us here as we broadcast live from our corner booth here at Baumhauer's. You jump on board with that. Check out the calendar at 977ESPN.com for all kinds of information on upcoming games. We have a million things going on this week. We've got the basketball tournament. We got March Madness. We have got the UAH baseball. We have got UAH softball. We have got Alabama baseball tonight over there at Toyota Field. I know it's miserable right now. It's supposed to be beautiful later on, and they'll be taking on Belmont tonight. It will let you know if we get any change in schedule on that. But right now, everything is on for tonight there. It's supposed to be by 2 o'clock. It's supposed to be the sun shining. This show here is a ray of sunshine. We're going to kind of like bring the sun. Right now it's cloudy and dreary and rainy. By the end of the show, the sun will be out, okay, or something like that. We have got we got everything for you. All right, but bottom line is we got everything for you. And you need to go to the calendar to find out where you're going to find those games. Because some things like Alabama baseball this weekend is over on Talk Radio WZZN. All right, that's going to be on Talk Radio WZZN at 97.7-2 is where you'll find the baseball, or on the app. So get the app. So you have the apps for both stations. And you can listen online as well. You can go to talkradiowzzn.com for Talk Radio, or you can go to 97.7ESPN.com for the zone. The kickoff rule has changed in the NFL. They went ahead and they passed it. I got some thoughts on this. As a special teams guy, I actually like it. I like it. I liked it in the XFL. What I thought was really ironic is that the UFL, which begins on Saturday, is not using this rule. This rule came straight out of the XFL. All right? The XFL did this deal where the kicker is by himself. He's back at the 35-yard line or the 30-yard line. In the case of the NFL, it will be the 35-yard line. And then the coverage team is down at the plus 40. So they're at the 40-yard line, which is, 30 yards away, 20 yards away from where the kicker is, 25 yards away from where the kicker is. They're at the 40. The kickoff return people are between the 30 and the 35, and the returners are between the 20 and the goal line. And the kicker kicks the ball, and nobody can move. The coverage team or the blocking team, no one can move until either the ball hits the ground between the 20 and the goal line, or until a guy catches it. You'll have two guys deep. Guy catches the ball, everybody breaks, and away they go. It's kind of like a punt. I liked it in the XFL last year. The USFL kicked off from the 20-yard line, encouraging more returns. They kicked off from the 20-yard line. Ironically, as the NFL is adopting the XFL kickoff rule, The UFL decided not to use the XFL rule and decided to use the USFL rule, which is kicking off from its own 20-yard line, increasing, returns. You're not going to be able to kick a touchback from 80 yards away. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he said he went on record saying that he does not like the stationary XFL kickoff, in that it just didn't look like football. He said that, wait a minute, was it The Rock? It might have been Daryl Johnston. No, it was Daryl Johnston. Not Daryl Johnston, not The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So it was Daryl Johnston. Anyway, he said that it didn't look like football. He did not like the stationary XFL kickoff. He says it doesn't look like football, and even the strongest XFL supporters can't deny that Johnson's claim holds some truth. While their format succeeded in decreasing the risk of injury, it also came across as stilted and slow on TV. Furthermore, in removing a key aspect of the NFL special team system, the XFL version cut off potential opportunities for return specialists. So now you got the NFL adopting the XFL rule, in the UFL with the old NFL kickoff but being backed up to the 20-yard line. What I don't like about it was the original plan was for a touchback to come back to the 35-yard line. Remember last year, touchbacks came back to the 25-yard line, or you could fair catch it and it would be at the 25. What they did to get this through was they changed it. They thought coming out to the 35 for a touchback was too punitive, so they changed it to the 30. So the question is this. It was the 25 last year. What makes us think that they're not going to just pound the ball into the end zone anyway? Is the 30-yard line that much different than the 25-yard line? Is that 5-yard difference enough for the kickers to drop that ball short of the goal line? I think you're going to see a preponderance of touchbacks anyway. I think it's going to pound it into the end zone anyway. I liked it better at the 35-yard line. It might have made it give them a pause a little bit. And we also are getting clarification on what kind of a tackle the NFL has actually outlawed. It's apparently not the hip drop tackle that was outlawed. It's the hip drop with a twist, literally with a twisting motion. So now it's even more arbitrary. It's more of a judgment call. I mean, I guess you might know what it looks like if you see it, but the players don't know what it is. The referees aren't sure what it is. And the fans sure as heck don't know what it is. So it's the hip drop. So you're tackling the guy from behind. You drop your hips and you twist. In other words, you tackle the guy. That's what it is. If you tackle the guy, it might be a penalty. That's what that is. I mean, this is incredible. The amount of confusion that this is going to cause is absolutely incredible. And the Atlanta Hawks made history last night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got an NBA note in here. I got an Atlanta Hawk note in here. They came back from 30 points down to beat none other than the best team in the league, the Celtics. It was the first 30-point comeback win in the last 25 years for Atlanta and the first blown 30-point lead for the Celtics in 25 years. And get this. Teams trailing by 30 in the last 25 years, any time trailing a game by 30 or more, in the last 25 years, had a cumulative record of 6 wins and 2,608 losses. And of all teams, the Atlanta Hawks against, of all teams, the Boston Celtics, did that last night. So that made the little guy in the little glass room with the slanted ceiling playing the Platters of Matter and the Stacks of Wax and man on the phones, keeping us on here very happy. It's DJ Grizzy Grizz.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Now, Tom,
Hey, Thom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today. What's that? Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Grizz, I'd say how you doing, but I know how you're doing. You're under the weather. I mean, you're playing hurt today, right? I mean, let's just tell it the way it is. You're playing injured today.
I mean, to an extent for sure. I'm at probably about whatever they talk about, 75% maybe.
Oh, so you're probable.
Yeah,
you're probable. You're not questionable.
I'm not doubtful. Yeah,
you're not doubtful. Doubtful is 25%. Questionable is 50-50.
Yeah.
And then probable is 75. So you're probable.
Yeah, I'm getting better throughout the week throughout this past weekend for sure. It started on Thursday. Sinuses, I'm like everybody else in this and going on right now with all these allergies and pollen and everything like that. So I've got the good drugs from the doc yesterday, and I'm feeling a lot better, and I don't sound a lot better. But yeah, no, it was exciting last night hearing about the 30-point deficit. It was 44-22 in the first quarter, and Trae Young didn't even play in that game. So to watch some other guys like DeAndre Hunter get 24, Murray had 19, Bogey had I think he had 22. So, this is something that you're like, where is this Atlanta Hawks team coming from? Sitting at, right on the verge of making the playoffs, and it's a tale of two different teams every week, I feel like. 6
wins, 2,608 losses when trailing by 30 at any particular point in time in the game. I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff right there. I mean, you got to admit that's a significant record, and you do it against the best team in the league. That's what's crazy.
And it kind of shows you, is Boston really the best team in the league? I get it. This is just a, kind of down the stretch regular season game. But I guess these are the kind of games that you want to see Boston really take care of and really when they get into the playoffs continue to have that success, be able. But you can't have stuff like that. You can't do that against the Bucks. You can't do that against the Heat. It's gonna happen. So I hope that it did kind of expose the Celtics because I despise them. So.
All right, let's get a break in here. A guy we do not despise is David Moulton from the Florida Sports Network, and he's coming up next. We are at Baumhauer's. We'll talk to David Moulton right after this on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
No payments for 90 days on 23 and 24 models. Financing as low as 0% and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 47 years in a row. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's Truck Month. The best deals on F-150, Explorer, Bronco, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. During Truck Month, get financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 Crew Cabs, and lease payments as low as $375 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends 4/2/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have over 40 Bronco Sports and nearly 50 Explorers and about a dozen full-size Broncos, all with great sales incentives and no payment for 90 days. Truck Month only happens once a year. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
What if I told you that Bigfoot is real and that he's making the best donuts you've ever had? Come see for yourself at Bigfoot's Little Donuts. Come in and order from over 50 flavors, all made hot and delicious. Ranked in the top 100 donut shops in the nation by Yelp. Bigfoot Little Donuts. Order in store or online at bigfootslittledonuts.com for pickup or delivery from Grub South or DoorDash. South Parkway, Huntsville, and County Line Road, Madison. Bigfoot's Little Donuts.
2 down, 4 to go.
Let's get out of here and head to L.A.
It's the Crimson Tide and the North Carolina Tar Heels in the Sweet 16.
Oh, in the lane, jump stop, reverse layup, good. Oh, the freshman growing up here.
Join us Thursday, live from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on your home for Alabama basketball. The Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Under your number, I wrote call for a good time. I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow. Besides, you had too many boyfriends to mention, and I played my guitar too loud. How do you like me now?
Yeah, welcome back. Thom Abraham Show. It's a Baumhauer's Tuesday here on the show today, and we're trying to cover as much ground as we can for you here at Baumhauer's. Remember, Baumhauer's is your home for all of the March Madness, and, you know what Bob always says, that inflation bites, right? And they're going to save you a few bucks with their popular Inflation Bites menu right now, featuring great deals like the delicious tailgate burger for only $8.99, the Bam Bam chicken platter for only $9.99, and more. Order any entree or handheld off the menu and receive a complimentary beverage. Pretty good the way I did that right off the top of my head. You would think I was reading it the way I was able to drop in all of that information. But we've done so many shows at Baumhauer's over the years. We can just do that by memory. A guy who also has a tremendous memory is David Moulton of the Miller and Moulton in the Morning Show, which is soon to be heard on our sister station, Talk Radio WZZN. We're getting down to the final dotting of I's and crossings of T's. David and Mark have requested payment in advance, so we're going to have to scratch a check for the first 3 months of the show to get them to appear. And, as soon as we can get that done, they'll be joining us over on our sister station in the mornings from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. during your morning drive. David joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline and on WZZN TV. David, welcome in. How are you?
Well, Tom, you're right. We're each requesting $1 a week. We want 13 weeks advance. So you're right. If you guys will come up with $26, okay, we can be on tomorrow morning.
But I've offered you a $30 gift card here to Baumhauer's. Maybe you guys could take that.
I understand, and I would take it because I've eaten there and I love the place. All right. Plus it's a shorter drive for me than my co-host.
The question is going to be, quite honestly, to be once we do get this going, and we are going to get it going. When I was in Florida out of Tennessee and Alabama, but my show was still on in Florida down there at the Fox affiliate in Southwest Florida. Part of my deal was I had to spend a certain number of weeks in the market. I would go down there and I'd do some remotes and things like that. Now, we're not requiring that from you, but I wonder what the chances are at some particular point in time. Maybe you're doing a Titans game on Monday Night Football or something like that. But I wonder what the chances are of us getting you up here for a couple of days and you and I going on tour, doing some remotes together and things like that, having you do your show from some of the fine morning joints around here. That would be kind of cool if we could get you to town at some point.
Did you say, quote, on tour?
On tour, yeah. Yeah, we would go on tour is what we would do. We would go, on tour around the various fine establishments.
What would we call the tour? Two fat guys and a burger? I mean, what do we call them this? What's the tour going to be? From one restaurant to another?
Oh, absolutely.
Watch us eat lunch at Mel's Diner, then join us over at Baumhauer's and watch us demolish, their $8.99 burger special. And then don't forget it's a Taco Tuesday. I mean, is that what we're going to do?
It is Taco Tuesday at Furniture Factory tonight. It is actually Taco Tuesday down at.
Hold on a second. So do we have to eat tacos at a furniture joint? Is that the deal?
It's an interesting story because Furniture Factory's been around for years, and I thought it was a furniture joint myself until they started doing stuff with us, and it's actually a very fine live music venue, restaurant. And the drive with your cousin Steve Moulton, who's of no relation, and West Neighbors, they do their show every Tuesday night from the Furniture Factory because it's Taco Tuesday. It's Pedro's birthday down there. Every single Tuesday, it's Pedro's birthday, so they have Taco Tuesday. And then, of course, on Thursday, I'll be doing my show from Corjalejos Mexican restaurant as well. So, I mean, we would go on tour. David, you remember doing local radio. You did remotes. Don't you remember doing shows from various restaurants and other establishments?
Tom, we even did shows together. Yes, you just described it as, quote, going on tour. Unquote.
That's what it is.
And
it's
I just
tour.
didn't know, I'm expecting then tour T-shirts and everything.
Yeah, well,
you're the bigger deal. You get top billing. Abraham and Moulton.
Abraham and Moulton. There you go.
I mean, Thom and David, we're not half bad.
We would have some fun with it. And of course, we got Toyota Field, a beautiful ballpark here where they have businessman specials, and we go out there and do the show live from. They have a nice restaurant out in the left field, right over the left field wall. It actually hangs over like the old Tiger Stadium. Remember how the overhang used to hang over? That's how it is there. And I literally hang over the right fielder. In right field, I should say. I literally hang over to right fielder, and I talk to him. I yell down to him and stuff like that during the broadcast, and which I'm sure he appreciates. And we have a good time. And one time we had a home run ball hit right at us, and Moulton was there. He was, he's our PD, and he was there handling some technical stuff and so on. And Steve Moulton was there, and the ball was coming right at him. And we were like, oh, this is going to be great because the game was on TV. He's going to catch the ball and all this stuff. And right as the ball's coming to him, he dodges out of the way and lets the ball hit the ball hits the pavement, bounces away. A little kid runs to get it, and I pulled his man card. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? On camera, you dove out of the way of a home run ball. You got to be kidding me.
Does the right fielder ever turn and look up to you like during play, like, hey, shut up?
Because a little bit.
Yeah, I did some college baseball where there's 34 people in the stands. All right, and you're doing play-by-play, and it's a close 2-2 pitch on the corner, and you go, ooh, and you make a comment, the umpire, not giving that one, and I've had the umpire turn around and look up at me. It's always nice.
It is, and luckily our minor league team here leads the Southern League in attendance every year, so there's always a good crowd. And, of course, on those school day specials, I mean, the kids screaming, you know what I mean? That's all you hear is the kids screaming like great. Give me a T-shirt.
That'll be fun.
Oh,
that'll be fun. Make sure when we go on tour that we're there for a kids special because there's nothing that I like more than to be at work with a bunch of screaming kids.
The screaming kids at work, which was basically my life at home for the first 25 years of my marriage. But that's a whole other story.
Well, it wasn't your life at home. Who are you kidding? Okay,
that's true.
It wasn't your life at home.
That's true.
Come on now.
That's a good point by you. You're absolutely true. I have made a decision. I've spoken as the leader of this clan, of this doghouse, and there's expectations that, I need to have an opinion about everything. I don't really watch much women's basketball, but I kind of, everybody else has been talking about this Caitlin Clark thing. And yeah, it's a big deal.
Really?
Look, David, do they need 64? I mean, come on. Look at who's left. There have been, out of 48 games on the women's side, there were 3 lower seeds that won. 3 lower seeds that won, and 2 of the 3 were a 5-4 game. They don't need to start at 64. They could start at 32. They could start at 16, and we'll be good.
But there's a very simple reason as to why. And the powers that be in women's college basketball are not interested in their sport looking like the men's game. And by that, I mean there are 15 scholarships in women's. There's 13 in men. Add up, that's 100-plus players that from the Power 5, 6, whatever you want to call it, schools that don't trickle down. Okay, there's not a middle class to women's college basketball. There's like 6 programs. Gonzaga and their women's program is now, reaching the levels that their men's program has. But South Dakota State, FGCU, Princeton, you can count them on one hand, Tom, the small to mid-major schools that have made a dent over the last 10 to 15 years. And it's by design. Okay, now they say it's because of Title IX and we need to make sure that we have more scholarships to make up for football. But trust me, the women's college basketball, the powers that be, do not want a middle class. They don't want what the men have. They don't. They could fix this. They could do it in half a decade, but they're not interested in doing it.
One of the fine middle-class programs is MTSU's, which is the only lower seed. They were an 11 seed. They beat number 6 Louisville. And of course, they won the Conference USA tournament here 2 weeks ago. They also played here and beat Tennessee. They beat the Vols, which used to be a thing. Women's basketball under Pat Summitt was amazing. But they beat the Vols here in Huntsville as well back in November. And then they came back and won the Conference USA here. But you're right. There is no middle class. But I had to, and I will say, there's one thing that would get my attention. One thing that would get my attention. South Carolina and LSU in the national championship game. That I'll check out. You know why? Because they fought. You know what I mean? Because there was a fight. And so that I would like to see. I would like to see that. Having said that, I had to make an opinion. I had to make a decision on Caitlin Clark, and I've decided I don't like her.
Oh my God!
I don't like her.
You're unbelievable.
She's the greatest shooter. She is an unbelievable shooter. She's got great shooting talent, but she doesn't want to play defense. She jogs around. She wants the ball all the time, no matter what. The girl's driving to the rack, and she's screaming for the ball out behind it. Last night in a tie game, the girl's got an open path to the rim, and she's screaming for the ball out at the three-point line. There was a time the game is tied. West Virginia does skip pass across the court to a wide-open girl, and it's Caitlin Clark, and she just stands in the paint while the girl jacks up a three-pointer to take the lead for West Virginia. I don't like her. She's whiny. She's a foul-mouthed. And she's too cocky. I don't like her. There you go. I had to have an opinion. Now I got an opinion.
Okay. I heard somebody say something the other day in which they said she passes like Jason Kidd, she shoots like Steph Curry, and she complains like Luka Doncic. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah. Uh-huh.
She can shoot the ball. I mean, there's no doubt about it. She can stroke the ball. There is no doubt about that. That's
I think
for sure.
She's going to complain a little less at the WNBA level, just because she's not always going to be the best player on the floor, and they're going to be allowed to do a few more things against her. And I think she'll complain a little bit less. I mean, she's been the best person on the floor her whole life. That could change here soon.
I need an objective opinion. David Moulton with us here. I need an objective opinion. He's been in every single SEC stadium more than any of us, covering the SEC on CBS as Gary Danielson's right-hand man. We introduced last week that bracket of 32 that was put out there, stadiums. We're down to the Elite 8 now, and in a major upset. This is a 5-2 upset in the Iron Bowl of stadium contests. Jordan Hare got 53% of the vote, and Bryant Denny got 47% of the vote. And we can't find anybody objective around here. I can't believe, just from a fan standpoint, that Alabama didn't win that, because you would think certainly Alabama has more fans than Auburn. But you've been in both facilities. If you were sitting back honestly, Jordan Hare Stadium, Bryant-Denny Stadium. And let me tell you the criteria, because we didn't get a chance to give you that last week.
This is important now.
This is very important.
Especially since now, before our show airs, I'm about to alienate 40 to 60% of your audience. So this is great, Tom.
Maybe.
Way to go. Great topic.
Here's the criteria. Game day atmosphere, tailgate scene, noise, and best name or nickname, which neither of these stadiums have a nickname unless you say Jordan-Hare for Jordan-Hare, and that's a nickname.
Yeah, I would probably go Auburn.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it louder there than? I mean, I've been to both several times, but I'm in the booth. It's hard to,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's louder than, even though it's 20,000 less people.
The reason I think it's louder is it's smaller.
So more on top of the field, maybe a little bit.
Yes, it feels that way, and I will say it may feel that way because also where the Auburn broadcast booth is on about the 15-yard line in the end zone where the wide receiver caught the ball here to win the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
Whereas, and that's used to be, Alabama's broadcast booth used to be down on the other side, on the 20-yard line. But now we're upstairs at midfield, and so we just feel further away. Jordan-Hare does feel a touch more intimate. Okay. Also, the Alabama fan is rowdy, but the Auburn fan is raucous. Okay, it's a different level. One was an upper middle class fan, the other is a middle class fan. At least that's how it feels, if you know what I mean.
I think the Alabama fan tends to be more apprehensive because they feel pressure. Because it's like they expected to win. You know what I mean? So there's no oh, my gosh. And this is a true story. When I first got to Alabama in the mid-2000s, 2004, when Alabama beat Florida, in Mike Shula's 10-3 year, the year that they went to the Cotton Bowl, or when they had the what they call Rocky Stop, which was the fumble through the back of the end zone. I think you guys were there for that one. Roman Harper with the hit, the fumble through the back, 6-3. Alabama fans had been conditioned. They were not expecting to win those games as much, and that was the loudest I ever heard the stadium. Whereas in more recent years, and by recent, the last 10, 12 years, there's such an expectation to win that they almost sit a little more quiet, and then there's a relief, by the time Alabama takes control of the game, and then it's a relief, and it's like, we better win this game. It's not like, oh my gosh, we're blowing our mind, we're excited because we're going to win a game. We better win this game, and they go there to see their team dominate. They don't go there to necessarily be a part of the domination. That's my impression.
I have to admit, I used to love going to an Alabama home game when Nick had called out the fans that week, either by saying, hey, we need you, or by basically pointing out some of what you did. Kind of like, really? So these 11, 12, 13 win seasons, huh? They just, basically we're Tiger, and it doesn't matter how many regular tour wins we have this year. It's how many majors.
Yeah.
That's all you guys care about. And I used to love it because then the Alabama fan would show up that week like they were a 7-5 team. And they would just be loud. But you're right. It's not every game.
Yeah, he would beg them to stay. He would not beg them. He would implore them. He would tell them that they have to stay.
He basically said, I don't care how much tuition your parents are paying. If you don't stand for the whole game, you're out of school. Right?
Yeah, you got to stay for the whole game, because those guys that are at the third and fourth teamers that are playing against MTSU late in the game, they deserve your support too. So yeah, that old speech. Okay, so 4 of the last 8 stadiums are SEC stadiums, as you might imagine. I mean, it would make sense. So now Jordan-Hare is going up against Neyland Stadium. All right, so Jordan-Hare versus Neyland Stadium. And remember, tailgating, the atmosphere, I mean, Vol Navy is unique to anywhere in the country. I mean, that is something that is really cool. I guess they do something like that out in Washington State. But so how would you vote Jordan-Hare versus Neyland?
Well, I said when you asked me this a week or two ago, I've got a little bit of for whatever reason, Neyland Stadium hit me the hardest, the earliest. in my 18-year SEC run that I just thought, and granted, the first game I did was a primetime game there, but just seeing the boats come in on the Tennessee River, seeing the team, come over the hill and down and the fans lined up, and I don't know. And that's why, to me, it was a shame that for 12 plus years the program wasn't relevant, because I would tell. Just give me a break. I'm like, no.
Yeah. There he is. We froze you there for a second, but you're good now. Yeah, when they split that tee, that's one of the coolest traditions in all of college football. When they split that tee, and what is it, the Southland Band or whatever they call the best band in the South, whatever they call that thing. But that's one of the coolest things that we see. David Moulton with us here. All right, the other one.
I have to admit, though, I wish we could put a limit on how many times they can play Rocky Top.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we used to have like an over-under in the booth of like 30 and a half.
It's I literally would wake up in the middle of the night hearing it, after being there for a game, and it would just be like, it's the most annoying thing.
I mean, it's not as bad as in 2014 when Mississippi State was really good and we did all those games in Starkville, and I still can hear the bell, ringing, but it's second.
The only thing that approaches it in annoyance level to me is have you ever been to a USC game and fight on?
Yes. Yes.
If they're winning, oh my gosh, we stop with that every down. I mean, it's just crazy. All right, so the other Elite Eight matchup involving SEC teams, Kyle Field, which destroyed Royal, Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium, 68% to 32%. Kyle Field versus Tiger Stadium, LSU. And we'll go Tiger Stadium at night. We'll go Death Valley at night.
Tom, nothing beats Tiger Stadium. No, seriously, it's over. Okay,
so Tiger Stadium's going to be the best out of that bracket.
Absolutely. If it's Tiger Stadium at night, it's over.
All right.
No, they've won the championship. Okay, they're UCLA under Wood. This sucker's over. Seriously. No. You want tailgate? I mean, name me another place in the SEC where there's 25,000 people partying in the parking lot and they don't have tickets to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they're beating you, they want to fight you, and then if you're beating them, they fight themselves.
They want to fight you.
They fight themselves. If you're beating them, they fight amongst themselves. The other two, Michigan Stadium destroyed the Horseshoe, so Michigan fans stepping up there.
That's ridiculous, by the way. That's
so now
ridiculous.
It's Michigan Stadium versus Beaver Stadium out of the Big Ten.
I'm surprised. Michigan should have lost in the first. It's not a great atmosphere. It's a cool place, but you told me what the criteria is. There's no way it should have won.
That's a wine and cheese kind of crowd, I think. And
also the stadium is very. It's almost saucer-like in that the noise doesn't stay contained.
Right.
It's the quietest 100+ thousand, crowd you could ever be around. Meanwhile, at Beaver Stadium, it could be the same number of people. It's 4 times as loud.
Yeah. It's just a big hole in the ground, basically. And then the final matchup will be the Rose Bowl, which is also very laid back. I've never been. I don't know if that's noisy. I doubt that that's really super noisy. It's the Rose Bowl against Autzen Stadium in Oregon, Oregon Ducks Stadium. So I don't know how that one matches up.
I have to admit, the most beautiful game of the year, there's 2 of them, and they're both in the Rose Bowl. First off, the Rose Bowl looks the best on television. But when UCLA hosts USC, and USC wears their uniform, and UCLA wears the powder blues with the gold helmet, it's the best looking game of the year.
Yeah, that color-on-color game is amazing. And
it's
you and I
awesome.
are not quite old enough to remember. There has been a call for this. In fact, Lane Kiffin tried to get Alabama to go along with it, tried to get Nick Saban to go along with it the one year he was the coach at Tennessee. Alabama and Tennessee used to go color-on-color, the orange and the red, years ago.
Awesome.
And I wish they would go back to that.
I do too.
All right, before I let you go, the NFL changes the kickoff rule, ironically, to the XFL rule, which I'll be totally honest with you. I actually like this. I like it as a special teams coach from way back. I like this. I think it'll bring the return game back. But the irony of all of this is that the UFL is literally not going to use it. They're using a standard kickoff formation, albeit from the 20, which was the USFL's rule, because Daryl Johnston said that the XFL rule doesn't look like football, and he didn't like it, and he didn't think it was conducive to the game. So the UFL will kick off from the 20, which means no touchbacks. They're not going to kick it 80 yards into the end zone. And the NFL will use the old XFL kickoff formation for the most part. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I like at least the attempt to try to bring the kickoff return back into the game. It's going to look gimmicky, but it's a one-year deal. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, hey, it was a 1 year. There's two other things.
I think two, by the way. I think they said 24 and 25. They're going to give it 2 years. Yeah.
All right. I like the fact they moved the trade deadline back another week instead of after week 8, it's week 9. And I do like the fact, and I know this happened yesterday, that if you get one of your 2 challenges correct, you get a third.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of what they've done, I like. I just love the fact that they put a rule in for player safety that the Players Association was unanimously against, but they went with the suits in the room over what the players wanted, and it's a rule for player safety. Isn't that like you and I telling a chef how they should cook?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, what's ironic about it was that Mike Tomlin and Dave Wanstead said that the reason the hip drop tackle, and now today we got clarification. It's not the hip drop tackle that's going to be outlawed. It's the hip drop with a twist, making it even more difficult for anybody to know what the heck they're talking about. And when you see it,
here's what we came up with in the morning. See whether or not this gets our show on your guys' airwaves. All right, it's the swivel hip drop. It's the difference between the tilt-a-whirl and the scrambler. The scrambler just goes all around. There's no swivel to it. The tilt-a-whirl goes all around, but there's a swivel to it.
And the
That's
referee
the
and the referee who's making $4,500 a game has to figure out what he just saw at a key moment in a game, and I have another judgment call to screw up a game.
Swivel? I think he swiveled. Okay.
Well,
yes.
And again, the irony of this is, according to Tomlin and Wanstead, is this technique of tackling, which was actually brought in by the Seattle Seahawks, Rocky Cito, the assistant coach for the Seahawks, the rugby-style tackle. This was brought in because the NFL wanted to get the head out of the game, out of the tackle, and so this was a safety tackle. And now they're saying you can't tackle like this. I don't know what's left. I don't. They're going to paintball? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do.
And I know you got to go. Here's the problem. If you put Rich McKay in charge of anything, he will ruin it. Seriously. Okay, Rich McKay is an idiot. Rich McKay has wanted Goodell's job forever, and so Goodell is keeping him close. Keep your enemies close, okay? And so he's given him the position as head of the competition committee. He's a moron.
Yeah, he has gotten more off of
He's ruining the NFL, Rich McKay, but this way they keep
living off his daddy's name for a long, long time. All right, always a pleasure. David Moulton, I'm not 100% sure that whether he'll continue to come on our show once his show is on Talk Radio WZZN. $20. I got to come up with the money. That's going to be like an extra $4 or $5 a week probably if I going to get you on my show.
Well, I know you guys are only willing to go to 20, and we're drawing the line. It must be $20 a week for each of us for 13 weeks in advance.
Plus a gift card to Baumhauer's. I mean, I got to throw that in.
That's a perk.
Yeah,
we got to hit a ratings bonus. I think that's what that is.
That is a perk. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
I'm just glad you did bring up my brackets, which suck.
Yeah, we can't find yours. I think he went in the wrong one, Grizz.
In fact, you guys sent me the link. I filled it out as Florida Moulton.
We can't find Florida Moulton. There's 200 people on there, and I can't find Florida Moulton. All I know is I got 116 points, and I'm second to my son as far as the radio station people. I mean, it is a disaster. Everybody at the radio station's totally blown up. We're all Auburn. We loved Auburn. We love Kentucky. Love Kansas. And it just all blown apart. So, all right, David.
4, I think. All right, see you.
Appreciate you. All right, let's get a break. We will come back. We're wide open for hour number 2, and that's when we'll be back. It's the Tom Abraham Show from Baumhauer's on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
AL cert number 21014.
Are those high utility bills driving you crazy this time of year? If they are, Talent Heating and Air has the special for you.
That's right. We're going to run a $49 spring checkup on your system. We're going to come out, we're going to check those heat kits, make sure that everything was working through the winter right, and then we're going to also make sure your Freon's good, make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
How important is that to be done this time of year?
It's really the most important time of the year. We can avoid safety concerns caused by wintertime use, and then we can also make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
And to get ready for the summertime, you just got to call
256-503-4490.
Or you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
That's Talent Heating and Air. One more time.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Let them save you money.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A massive revamp of the kickoff approved by NFL owners today, the most significant on-field rule change for the league in years. Among the tweaks, other than the kicker and returner, no players on the kickoff or receiving teams can move until the ball hits the ground or a player inside the landing zone. No fair catches or surprise onside kicks allowed. New formats in effect for just 1 year in anticipation of possible tweaks over time. Owners also approved moving the trade deadline back until the Tuesday after the Week 9 games and allowing teams to elevate a quarterback from the practice squad to the active roster unlimited times to serve as the emergency QB. NBA LeBron James with lingering left ankle soreness listed as doubtful for the Lakers tonight against the Bucks. LA is 9th in the West, 3 games back of the Suns for 6th to avoid the play-in tournament.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Anderson. And right now you could buy one window or door and get one 40% off. Just text FRONT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus buy one window or door and get one 40% off. And right now save an extra $200 off your entire purchase. Text FRONT to 200-300 right now. Text FRONT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text the word FRONT to 200-300. Text FRONT to 200-300.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, and pick up the phone to call, one you've seen on a billboard or on TV begging for your business, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center, not in some office 100 miles away. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to. We're the ones that you meet with.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case. You want to talk to me? You just call me.
And we'll take care of it. You worry about getting well. We'll take care of the rest.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Most of the rain is going to be done by the time we get to the lunch hour. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. We're dropping into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 60s. Definitely going to be a little cooler across the Tennessee Valley, but less wind, so we're going to count that as a win. We drop into the lower 40s through the overnight, early Thursday morning. A mostly sunny sky Thursday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and Twitch. Just search 97.7 ESPN. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show here at Baumhauer's. This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. You know, I would think that Woody Anderson Ford folks like to come down to Baumhauer's as well. You know, that service department at Woody Anderson Ford is second to none. They're experts in the service of Fords and in other makes. And look, if you have a Ford, they're going to use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts. Even if you don't have a Ford, though, they can take care of you, whether you need a wheel alignment or a tire rotation or a brake job or an oil change or an engine tune-up or even tranny work or body work. They do it all down there. The body department is unbelievable. They do it at the service department, the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center, and the body department. And if you don't have a Ford, what are you doing? All right, check out the Certified Gold pre-owned inventory plus all the new inventory at the corner of Sparkman and Jordan Lane. It's Woody Anderson Ford, the only place I've gone in the Tennessee Valley since 2004. Phone lines are open now for the entire second hour of the show. 256-576-4977. It's the lunchtime show here down at Baumhauer's on the South Parkway. It is absolutely tremendous. LSU Lynch said that segment was like watching the movie Twins. All right, so who's Arnold Schwarzenegger and who's Danny DeVito? Me or Moulton? I mean, because it's really kind of like Danny DeVito and Danny DeVito. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'd want to be Danny DeVito in another life anyway, so I would definitely take Danny DeVito.
You just got a thing for Danny DeVito because of the
Always
Philadelphia
Sunny,
show.
Always Sunny. Danny DeVito Matilda. Have you the movie Matilda? As the father in that movie, he was a scumbag, but he was. I mean, that movie was amazing.
You see, in me,
and he was a narrator.
Me, when I think of Danny DeVito, all I can think of is Taxi.
Yeah,
that's what I think of as Danny DeVito. When you say Danny DeVito, to me, I'm thinking of Taxi. I'm thinking of the fact that he's married to Rhea Perlman, who is the female Danny DeVito.
Right.
I mean, you got to admit that. And then I think of some of the Danny DeVito. I'm trying to think of some of the movies that I liked him in. I just pretty much think of
the Penguin
of
in
Taxi.
Batman.
He was the Penguin. Yeah. I was not much of a. Is that Marvel's or is that the other one?
No, that's the other one. DC
and Marvel. So I've never.
But that was like the Tim Burton. That was the
superhero.
Tim Burton version of Batman movie. So it was like more kiddish.
Didn't watch the Batman movies so much. Batman. I go back to the Boom and Pow, Adam Ward. And Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there is no real Robin. I don't know what the Man in Tights came from in the whole Batman thing, because when you started seeing the Batman movies that came out with the George Clooney and the Timothy Robin or whoever these Batmans were, they never seemed to have a Robin. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's Batman and Robin. Where's Robin? They cut his producer out.
Yeah, you really don't know about quote Robin until like Dark Knight Rises, which is a completely different Batman genre. So technically it is a version of Robin, but there's like 3 different named versions of Robin, and they're all different guys. One was like a circus actor at one time, and one's a former police officer. It's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about it. 256-576-4977 will get you into the show. Chris Lowe has a new article out regarding what retirement is like for Nick Saban. Look, Nick Saban, he plays in a lot of these celebrity golf tournaments and so on, and he played in one in Florida, and he was with 50 Cent and Travis Scott. Now, I'm 10 years younger than Nick Saban, all right? I couldn't pick 50 Cent out of a lineup. Is he the one with the face that looks like it'll hold a day of rain? Well, like the big pock marks in his face? Or?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
or is it? No,
exactly
wait a minute.
What you're talking about.
That's Seal. That's
Seal.
Isn't it?
If you look at 50 Cent, he like his face does look like he's got like scars and marks in his as he's gotten older too though. But he's like more
Travis Scott. Is Travis Scott Travis Scott? Is that who he goes by? His name is Travis Scott?
I believe that's his full name.
So, his daughter, Saban's daughter, said, "Do you understand who you're playing golf with right now?"
No, his name is Jocks Berman Webster II.
Who's that? 50
That's
Cent?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott? So Travis Scott uses the name Travis Scott as his rapper name?
Yeah, he's Jocks Berman Webster II.
What kind of
probably
rapper
doesn't
name
do
is
well
Travis
in rap
Scott?
world.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the 50 Cent. You got
I don't know why he chose that
give me
over.
another rapper. Lil Wayne. I'm pretty sure that's not his given name. Lil Wayne. Who's another rapper? Was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Was the Fresh
Eminem.
Prince? Eminem. And is that's not his name? He's Marshall Mathers, right? What would be another rapper?
Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne is Dwayne Michael Carter Jr.
So at least he's got a Wayne in there.
He does
somewhere.
have a Wayne.
He is a little Wayne.
A Dwayne.
He's a little Wayne, but he's like 40 now or something. You know what I mean? It was one thing when 41. He was like Lil Wayne. All right, so that's him. And then there's the guy that's getting in trouble now, right? The P. Diddy, who had like a bunch of different names, right? Wasn't it Sean? Wasn't he Diddy? And then he was P. Diddy.
Sean Love Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Daddy, or Diddy.
P. Daddy, Diddy, Puff Daddy. So I think he had a home under each name. He had a P. Diddy home, a Puff Daddy home. He had a Puffy Puff home, a Diddy home. And Sean, is he not? Is he the guy that did the clothes, like Sean something? No, that
was Sean John or whatever.
Sean John.
Yeah,
that's not Sean. That's not P. Diddy.
I don't believe so. No.
So there's that guy, and then there's Ice-T, and then there's what was the other one? There was another one like Ice Cube.
No, you're right. Sean Combs.
Sean Combs.
Sean John.
Listen, look at me. See how tragically hip I am? See? I know stuff. Ice-T and Ice Cube. One of those is on Law & Order. I think it's Ice-T is on Law & Order. Ice Cube was in the barbershop.
Ice-T is in Law & Order.
Ice-T is in the Law & Order. Ice Cube was in Barbershop, one of my favorite movies of all time. Is Barbershop. You ever watch Barbershop? Not Barbershop 2.
Yeah, Barbershop and Barbershop 2.
Yeah, not Barbershop 2.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet where he was like more of a
Cube?
dad? It was kind of a good. That was kind of a good movie.
That's Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ice Cube. Ice Cube, yes.
Cube. Yeah, well, I mean, his friends call him Cube. I think he just goes by Cube by his friends.
Boys in the Hood.
Sure. Wait a minute. Cube, isn't he the guy that invented the 3-on-3 basketball league? That's his basketball league, Cube.
Yeah. From
Ice
all
Cube.
the Friday movies, Next Friday, Friday After Next, all those movies, yeah.
Yeah, but he's
the 3-on-3
he's the
basketball.
founder of the 3-on-3 basketball league.
I forgot. I think there's another owner, but I can't remember. I thought he teamed up with somebody or something. Maybe he's the full. I don't know.
We used to do the dead wrestler segment. Then there's the dead rappers, right? So you got a lot of dead rappers, like the Tupac is dead, right?
Allegedly.
Is Biggie? Is it Biggie?
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls is dead. All right, that's another dead rapper. There's probably as many dead rappers as there are alive rappers, is what I would think. Saban, though, according to this story, and I'm going to call a little bit of BS on this one. Allegedly, Saban doesn't know Rammer Jammers. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, the story says that, let's see, his office on campus is now just steps away from Ramajama's, an iconic area restaurant that is a virtual football museum filled with helmets, jerseys, and other memorabilia. On the day Saban moved into his new digs, Allen, I don't know who this Allen person is, it must be some assistant there or whatever, Allen pointed to Ramajama's and said, "Coach, now you can walk across the street and get a hamburger for lunch." And Saban looked quizzically at the restaurant and said, "Yeah, what's that place? Has it been there a long time?" Yeah, I'm calling BS on that. There is no way.
He's all about the job, man. Maybe he didn't know.
There's no way. You can be all about the job all you want. He was all about the job. He was all about his little basketball league that he had as well, with the coaches. And,
right.
And he always stacked the team, in his favor. I'm not buying it. All right, so that's out there if you want to react to that. Jordan Hare beats out Bryant-Denny Stadium in an upset. Jordan Hare was a 5 seed. Bryant-Denny Stadium was a 2 seed. And somehow Jordan Hare gets the nod from the fans as a better stadium atmosphere for game day atmosphere, tailgate scene, noise, and best name or nickname, which it really doesn't have. Right? They don't have – neither one of them have a name or a nickname. Am I missing something? Bryant-Denny and Jordan Hare, they don't have a name or a nickname.
No.
It's not like Death Valley, the Big House, the Horseshoe, these places that have nicknames. All right, a guy that's been at both of those stadiums numerous times is Grumpy. He's up first. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. Yeah, I've been to both of them. They're both excellent. Yeah, I'm glad Jordan here beat y'all out. But I've been to a lot. I go to the Ole Miss Alabama game almost every year in Bryant-Denny. Anyway, I've been doing that for years. That's the game I picked to go to. I got a couple buddies with season tickets, and I always get the Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
But, hey, with this new NFL rule, the players can't move until the ball hits the ground. What's the penalty if they do?
It would be an illegal procedure penalty, and they would have to re-kick, back it up 5 yards and re-kick. Hit the ground or caught. It would be caught. It very rarely hits the ground. If you ever watched any of the XFL, I mean, the guys catch it. For the most part, they catch it. The difference is the XFL kicked off from the 30. The NFL is going to kick off from the 35. The other difference is that if you kick it into the end zone, it only comes out to the 30 instead of the 35, which I don't know if that's enough of a deterrent because it came out to the 25 in the past. Is it really that much of a deterrent if it comes out to the 30? I'm afraid we're still going to see a lot of touchbacks.
So it's the old rule, if you call for a onside kick, you're going to do it. You just line up like you used to.
You have to tell them. Yeah, you have to tell them. And what they didn't do, I wish they had done, is they didn't do the Alliance rule or the UFL rule or XFL rule where you say, I want a chance to retain the ball, and it's 4th and 13 from your own 30-yard line, and you run a play. And if you don't get it, the other team gets the ball wherever you got to, if you end up getting 10 yards or whatever. So they didn't do that. So what you do is if you're going to go for an onside kick, there's no surprise onside kicks left anymore. So you got to say to them, you got to declare, I'm going for an onside kick. Then you line up traditionally and kick an onside kick.
Okay, now one more time for us slow people.
Yeah.
The offensive and defensive, or the receiving and kickoff linemen, how far are they apart?
Okay, 5 yards. So what will happen is that the kicker's at the 35, his own 35. The coverage team, the other 10 guys, 5 on each side, are at the plus 40. So they're at the 40-yard line of the receiving team. The blocking unit for the receiving team, they line up at the 30 or at the 35 to the 30. They can be between the 30 and the 35, so they can be staggered, whereas the coverage team all have to be within a yard of the 40. So they're about 5 to 7 yards away, let's say, from each other. So this way there's not a big run-up and a huge collision. It's almost like a punt. And then between the 20-yard line and the goal line is where the returners set up. The 2 returners, you can't fair catch it. And so everybody just stands there and waits. And when the ball comes down and the guy catches it, as soon as he catches it, then everybody can break for the ball carrier. And so it's like a punt return. Yeah.
Okay, so they made it where it had to reach the 20, which gets rid of the old sun kick or punting. Because you have the choice, don't you, to where you can punt the ball, right? Because nobody ever does it.
No, you would only do – you don't have that choice. You only have that choice after a safety, where you can do that. Yeah, you can do that after a safety. Now, if you have a safety – against you, then you have the choice of punting or kicking. And I have not seen how they're going to line up, but that's a good question. After a safety, when you kick from your own 20, is the coverage team going to be downfield, or are they going to line up with you? I wonder how that's going to be.
Yeah. And I've got 2 guys working in my crew today. Both of them are in their early 60s. Both of them are Alabama fans, and neither one of them has heard of this Rammer Jammers place.
Come on.
No clue what
Lies.
There's that
literally right
They're
down the
lying
street.
There's no way. I mean, it's right across from the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, Rammer Jammers is like an institution down there. If you got guys that are Alabama fans, they know Rammer Jammers. I mean, it's
to you it is. It's an institution to you. And
not
you know
to
what
me.
else?
I've only been here 20 years. I mean,
you ever been to Mama Goldberg's in Auburn?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I mean, it's a place. I'm not a fan, but I've been there and I know where it is.
It's a place.
I've never been to Rammer Jammers.
It's another overrated place.
You just see it. I've never been to Rammer Jammers, but you know about it, and the memorabilia in there is supposed to be incredible.
Hey, the SEC network all year long told me how great SEC basketball was all year, and I feel like I've been lied to.
Yeah, well, I don't know that we were lied to or if it just turned out to be a bad tournament, a bad couple of matches. I don't know. It was a mess. It's like the bowl season. You know what I mean? You'll see the SEC is the greatest football conference in the land, and then if they have a bowl season where they go 5-5, everybody said, well, do we decide that based on just the tournament or not? And but it's not a good look.
Yeah, and they keep telling me it just means more, and I'm like, does it really? Come on, does it really? Hey, and you know who was asking me about LSU basketball the other day?
Yeah.
Nobody.
He's talking about LSU women's basketball? He
I
must
think
be
so.
talking about LSU women's
I think so.
basketball.
By the way, before you get into the next caller, this whole kickoff rule, does that mean that the drop kick can be used still in kickoffs, or did that ever get taken out as well?
The drop kick is for kicking if you're going to try a free kick for a field goal after the other team.
Well, I know that Matt Gay did it on a kickoff in 21, and Justin Tucker's done it before on a kickoff.
On a kickoff or an extra point?
On a kickoff.
Yeah, well, I would think that they could still do that. You either can use a tee or the drop.
But could that be a possibility of doing that quick onside kick? Is that the same?
Well, no, because you can't surprise onside kick. You have to tell the other team you're going to try an onside kick. So if you tell the other team you're going to try an onside kick, then you line up standard. They're going to line up at the 45, and you're going to line up at the 35, and you're going to kick an onside kick. Whether you do it drop kick wise or, I'll have to check that and see. I am curious as to if anything changed on the kick after a safety. You know what I mean? If there is after a safety. Now the drop kick, the free kick, where you can kick for a field goal is if the other team is kicking off and you fair catch it, then you can line up, for a free kick if they pooch it or something like that. Or after a safety. So in other words, they're kicking from their 20. You fair catch it at the 45. It used to happen more often back, we're talking pre-1970, when the goalposts were on the goal line. Before they moved them back to the back of the end zone, like in college football. Goalposts in the NFL used to be right on the goal line. So that's 10 yards shorter. So you would catch the ball on a you'd call for a fair catch after a safety. You'd catch the ball at your own 45-yard line, and it would be a 55-yard field goal attempt. And you could line up with no rush and kick it through the goalpost for 3 points. And you could do it. You could do it via have a holder, kick it from a tee, or drop kick it. But that's all. A lot of that stuff is gonzo. Up next is Brandon. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
I just got the daylight scared out of me. They just turned the tornado signals on down here to test them. That's never a fun thing to be around.
I'll tell you what, it's better than driving over a bridge and having a freighter hit it and have the entire bridge collapse into the water. My worst nightmare. I do not like bridges. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like heights. And I don't mind flat bridges, but a bridge where you got to go up high and you're way up high over the water and then back down, especially if it's a narrow bridge. And what happened in Baltimore this morning at 1:30 in the morning that we all woke up to this morning, thoughts and prayers with the victims of that deal. Thankfully, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I say only if you were one of the 5 or 6 or 8 or 20 cars that fell in the water. You don't care what time of the day it was. I haven't seen a death toll yet. I think they fished a couple of people out of the water alive, 47-degree water. But that's my worst nightmare is something like that happening and falling into the water off a bridge. What happened to Brandon?
Is he there? I mean, he's up.
No,
he's up and on.
He was there, and then he was gone. You didn't cut him off, did you, Grizz?
No, earlier they said that that when I was putting him on hold, it was just ringing, so I don't know.
All right, Brandon, call us back. Natty Danny is up next. Natty Danny, welcome in. How are you?
You're not going to believe this. When my son was on business, he was in Baltimore. Scared the living heck out of me. I woke him up in the middle of the night. Said, "Son, you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Yeah.
I watched it so closely, the replay of it going down.
Oh, unbelievable.
Man, there were so many people who were so close that went through that and barely made it, and they had no idea until all of a sudden it happened. Can you imagine being that person? First off, my thoughts and prayers to the family and just these people losing their life. But, you say to yourself, God, I was a lucky person. God looked over me, and these are people that just barely made it past the bridge. They had no idea.
Or can you imagine? Can you imagine the other end of it? Because what it was the middle span,
right,
which is several hundred feet of the middle span that collapsed. But
right,
this bridge is 1.5 miles long. So can you imagine if you were on the approach? So you're going up the thing, and then all of a sudden you see the bridge collapse, and now what are you going to do? Back all the way down? I mean, you're alive. That's good, but I'm getting heebie-jeebies thinking about it, just talking about it now.
I park the car and just get out of that thing and take my chance with walking. Yeah, because how are you going to back up with people behind you? Just get the hell out of it.
Well, that's the thing. But, it was almost vacated. But, by the way, for those of you that don't know what it is, too, it's 695. It's the interstate, and it's the Francis Scott Key Bridge. This is a major bridge.
Huge seaport.
Yeah, across the bay there, and it's going to take a long time to repair that. And then I don't know who's going to want to drive across it once they repair it.
Not to mention the fact that the ships coming in and out. They have no. I don't know. They must have another entry in. I don't know. But
has there been any word about why it hit the bridge?
Well, I was going to get to that. I only know is before I went to work, I was very intent watching this. I got Ginger to watch it and called Chad. But I noticed that the ship lost its power several times before it actually hit the column. And I think and then they had the stack in the back was all black. Like soot came out. That means they slammed it in reverse, but it's not like a train. It takes at least a mile or better, they said, for it to come to a stop. So what happened is they lost power. And when you lose power, how do you steer your rudder when you got no power? And it's all hydraulic. So, the captain probably, or the guy that was manning the boat itself, several of them, they couldn't do anything about it. It sounds like to me. But I've never steered a boat that was what is they call it 2.5 football fields long. That's a
at
lot
least.
of boats.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was. I figured it was bigger than that. And it's loaded to the gills with shipping containers. I mean, it's hundreds of shipping containers on the boat. And the last I'm seeing 19 minutes ago is Baltimore Key Bridge collapse live update. Rescue is search for 6. So I'm not seeing a death toll yet, but I'm just seeing what they're looking for.
Yeah. They say that one was in. I heard it earlier. The president actually came on CBS and talked about it. They had one person in critical condition that they found. It was a total of 8. They said one person was in critical condition and one was actually okay that they got out and rescued. So there's still 6 that are remaining. But at the time of the bridge, but at the time of the bridge, there were like 4 or 5 construction workers pouring concrete on the bridge. So they probably were part of the casualty.
Right. Well, anyway, on the lighter subject, I hate to do this, but the reason why I call, because usually when I call, most of the time it's about when you got a subject that I got to talk about, I'll do the stadium thing, but then you start doing a rap, right? I'm not a big rap guy, but I have a little ditty that I usually do that I do know how to do, and I'm gonna lay it on you. I'm gonna give you the clean version. You ready?
Yeah, it's got to be the clean version now. You don't have any F words or N words or anything.
No cuss words. Where the word would be cuss, I'd go. I'll do that. How's that?
All right. This is Wolverine Dan. This is Natty Danny Rappy. This is Natty Danny Rappy.
Yes.
DJ Natty Danny. Okay, go ahead.
Me and my homies like to play this game. Some call it Amtrak, but I call it a train. We all line up in a single file line, taking their turns and whacking girls behind. Nibble on my eye like a raptor's cheese.
It's pretty good. Gotta be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotta be honest. That was not bad.
Thing I called. How about the big house, baby? Everybody knows what the big house is.
It's big hole in the ground.
Unbelievable. They pack them there. Nobody's bigger. And you know, Tom, the other thing, a little story about that, when they were digging that thing, because it's below the ground level.
It's a big hole in the ground.
Yeah. One of the big cranes that was digging it out actually hit a water aquifer, and what happened, it sunk, and there's a crane that's underneath the stadium.
No, you're lying.
Yes. Look it up.
That's a book I read when I was a little kid about Machine Mulligan or whatever, Machine Mike or whatever. They dig the hole.
Oh, you read that one with also what's the monkey? What's the monkey's name? Curious George.
No, the guy that digs the machine that digs the basement and then he can't get out because he dug the basement.
There is one like that. Look it up. It's underneath the stadium. I'm telling you, it's true. So anyway, with that said, Tom, as usual, I love your show, bro. You know, I'm right down the street, but I'd stop by, but I got my workout stuff. I'm getting ready to bust one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. You bust one already.
All right.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you. Crane? A crane is buried under the stadium? I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm buying that one. Let's get a break. When we come back, Phil the blacksmith, who was just here right now, and I'm looking at his card here, and I'm trying to figure out what he does down there at Gunnersville Lake. But Phil the blacksmith, by the way, Phil the blacksmith is somewhere in the 40s or 50s. He's had a pretty good bracket so far. And Mongo is leading our contest. Mongo, who is a regular texter to the Thom Abraham Show, Mongo is leading right now in our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bracket Challenge as well. We'll come back. LSU Lynch is up. Phil the Blacksmith is up, and Brandon is back, all right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and If the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
I'm here today with Dr. Tracy Lowry of Veracity Vein Center. Now, how does someone suspect they have vein issues?
The most common symptoms associated with vein issues include leg heaviness, aching, and swelling, with some patients having visible veins as well. Vein issues can be easily diagnosed using ultrasound, with treatments performed as an outpatient using the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Both men and women have vein issues, though men may be more likely to ignore their symptoms when they're playing golf or walking the stadium steps. They too will benefit from correction of their vein problem. Patients can contact our clinics in Huntsville and new clinics in Madison and Coleman at 256-715-7151 or visit us at veracityweincenter.com.
Veracity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Did you know that Valley Equipment Rental also specializes in day and weekend rentals to homeowners? The weekend rentals is by far the best deal that they offer. If you pick up after 2 on a Friday or anytime Saturday morning, it's not due in until Monday morning before 8 a.m. for a one-day charge. For a small fee, Valley can even haul anything they carry. Valley has extremely experienced and knowledgeable staff that can help you decide what size machine you need or what type of machine you need to get your job done like a pro. They have all the big items that the contractors need for their jobs, but they also carry the small tools that can help you with your DIY project. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and ask for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.
Here it comes, and there it goes. Fly ball, deep left field, way back. This one is up. This one is gone.
Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks and get ready to cheer on the Tide.
Called third strike, a slider lower inside corner.
The Tide plays here all season long.
Here's a spin. Here's Bowman's throw home. The slide, and he's safe.
On your home for Alabama baseball, the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Most of the rain is going to be done by the time we get to the lunch hour. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. We're dropping into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 60s. Definitely going to be a little cooler across the Tennessee Valley, but less wind, so we're going to count that as a win. We drop into the lower 40s through the overnight, early Thursday morning. A mostly sunny sky Thursday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown. Touchdown!
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone! A home run!
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center. For whatever ails you, it is the Orthopedic Center. They can take care of you. They're the orthopedic specialists that pretty much every high school in the region uses. It's TOC Sports. Alabama A&M and the Huntsville Havoc also rely on TOC, but whether it's a sports injury or work accident or maybe you're just breaking down a little bit, TOC has the right specialist for you. They are North Alabama's largest sports medicine provider. It's TOC Sports. Stay in the game with TOC. We are on location at Baumhauer's, hanging out over here. We've had a number of people come over and say hello. Don't forget, when you come by, you might want to check out Spencer's Gooey Series. For all the gooey cheese connoisseurs out there, you'll love Spencer's Gooey Series. Now he's got a Gooey Series, Spencer. That's Spencer Baumhauer, by the way, son of Bob and also a young man who played at Alabama. This is a series of menu items that are covered with fresh scratch-made Blanco cheese and bacon, including the gooey charbroiled potato stack. That sounds good. The gooey char-grilled chicken and chips. Oh, that sounds good. Gooey char-grilled chicken sandwich and platter. Ooh, that sounds really good. And these cheesy specials all start at just $8.99 here at Baumhauer's on the South Memorial Parkway. Your home for the madness and anything else you want to watch. Dude just walked in with a cowboy hat on, overalls, and no shirt. And he's 400 pounds. And he's got a beard like one of the guys from the Duck Dynasty. He got no shirt. If it says no shirt, no service on the door, Grizz, do you think if you have overalls on, does it count as a shirt?
It counts. Yeah, unless he has to put pasties on or something.
Well,
that
I don't know.
Might be something coming off the side a little bit.
I wasn't seeing nipplage, but he definitely had a lot of side boob hanging out on both sides. He had a lot of side boob. I mean, he's a big boy. He had a significant amount of side boobage hanging out of both sides of his overall, and he's got a cowboy hat on, and he's got a big long beard.
I think it should count as long as you don't sweat. If you're like an excessive sweater, you should put a shirt on.
Well, and you can also see the
overalls
hair.
like that, I think it's fine.
You can see the hair from under his arms. He's got the kind of pit hair that kind of like extends and sticks out on both the front and the back. It's not very appealing. He's sitting at they put him at a booth over by the bar area. I wouldn't want to be sitting in the next booth.
Just go ahead and pass him the ketchup if he needs it, because if he starts reaching over,
it's
maybe like Along Came Polly.
That would be a little weird. All right, let's get Brandon and have him finish up his call. Brandon is back. Brandon, what's going on? Go ahead and pick up where you left off. It's a Brandon thing. Now, Grizz, I'm going to say it's a Brandon thing.
I swear it. Yeah.
One time it might have been you, but not two times. It's a Brandon thing. Let's see who's up next. Phil the blacksmith is next. Phil, who was here a few minutes ago. Phil, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, young man?
I would have talked to you, except for I was doing the Sports Talk Radio show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, the card I dropped off to you. I'm the for the Hydrofest races. I'm the media person that makes sure all the media and everybody is where they need to be, and I try to just keep everybody happy. Ford dealership out at Albertville gives me a nice SUV to ride everybody around in. So
I thought you were. I didn't look at it close. I just saw Hydrofest, Gunnersville Lake. I thought you were spraying weeds. I'm like, what's this guy doing? He must spray weeds down there. Yeah. Oh, an extreme event on the South's fastest water. Yeah, there you go. It's a bass tournament on a Saturday down there. It's the South's fastest water. I dropped the hammer on that Bassmaster Radio Phoenix and do about 70 going down the lake. It's probably not fast enough.
Well, hey, I just called I'm on board with you, that Caitlin Clark. I mean, I don't. She'll play at the next level. She'll play at the next level.
Oh, sure.
Because that's about all she can really do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like her. I mean, I know Moulton wasn't happy with me when I said that. David, he was not happy, but the reality is I watched for a few minutes, and I was like, wait a minute, she's just standing in the paint, and her person is jacking up a three. She's not even making an effort. And then at the other end, she's like calling for the ball while her teammate is taking it to the cup. And when her teammate made the shot that gave them the lead, all the rest of the players were like, yeah, I think she might have gotten fouled even. And Caitlin Clark's nowhere to be seen. She's like, why did they pass it to me? I'm Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She's mouthy.
Exactly. Her antics a little too much for me. I'm telling you what, that girl, that Becker girl from UConn, she's probably the best player in college basketball right now.
I agree.
As far as women goes.
She may be, or that Angel Reese is pretty good, or, I agree. But
Yeah,
Grumpy says
good,
nobody's talking about the only matchup that I'll even watch for 5 minutes if it happens would be LSU and South Carolina because they had a fight. I want to see them on the court again because they had a fight. And then I might not watch it anyway.
Yeah, I think unless something crazy happens, I mean, South Carolina's probably going to win it. So.
The waitress on my end of this restaurant next to me is so happy she's not serving big Billy Jack down there with the cowboy hat. He just looked like he got a funk coming off of him. I'm just saying, man.
Might have been working, man.
If you got, maybe, but we're not like in farm country right here. He had to drive a minute to get here.
Literally
from farm country.
15 minutes south of you is probably a farm.
But do you drive 15 minutes if you're working on the farm? Do you drive 15 minutes to go to Baumhauer's for lunch? And don't you not throw a T-shirt on underneath your coveralls so that your side boobies don't fall out of your coveralls?
Well, I don't have that problem, so no.
Now that he's sitting down, he's probably got full boobie out. I mean, it's not good.
Well, I'm headed back to the farm, but I just had to swing by there and get me a bite to eat.
Yeah, I hear you.
To carry back, but anyway, yeah, I'm doing fairly decent as far as Williams' bracket goes, but Baylor messed me up Sunday.
Yeah, but you're doing a lot better than everybody at the radio station. I can tell you that right now. Everybody.
All right, well, I'm going to let you get the other callers. That's all I holler at you.
All right, appreciate you. LSU Lynch is next. Lynch, welcome to the show. Where are you, man? I might need a bodyguard over here. I think I might need you over here.
What the hell is going on with this damn show today? I mean, that boy apparently over there he's your best fan. The one y'all keep talking about that just walked in.
I wonder if he is a fan of the Big Dog or of the 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Look, he's going to surprise you when he gets up, eats his meal, and walks out and comes up to you. Okay, I hope he's still alive.
If he wants to give me a hug, he's going to be sadly mistaken if he comes over here to try and give me some kind of a hug with all that stuff flopping out outside of his coveralls. I mean, you got to wear a shirt under your coveralls.
Look here, he's going to have the barbecue sauce dripping down the side, dude.
In the beard. In the beard.
On the side, dude. Anyway, number 2, let me get this. Why, if you look here, Mullet Man, are we going to really have to put up with, you being old and saying you going to the gym and trying to rap like P. Diddy? Okay, what are we going to do an investigation? Is this going to happen all year, Tom?
That wasn't a bad rap, though. I got to give him a little credit. I mean, he was.
Come on. I mean, is it going to get worse? Because the team,
typically until they have their first loss next season, we're probably going to have to listen to this.
And then look here, I got 4 things. We're going to get to the third one because I want to hear some other callers. Y'all want to talk about Saban and all that bull crap? Look here, I told you, I think once or twice before, I had a good friend of mine. She was hired, her and her husband, by the University of Alabama for catering. So this was back in the day, 2008, 9, 10, 11, back in then. Okay, but Saban ate the same salad every day. He didn't like a sliced tomato. He liked it chopped, okay? And he ate the same thing for lunch every day just because the man didn't want to have to make a decision about lunch. Okay?
Right. Yeah, I believe that.
And I say that just to let everybody know that's what his personality was. Okay.
Well, he has the same breakfast every day, right? He has a Little Debbie. He has 2 Little Debbies and a cup of coffee every single morning.
Yes. And I'm going to end with this because I want to hear, Grumpy, you got to do a better job. If you want to come at me, son, you got to do a better job. Okay.
All right. It's a good job by you. Those of you that are watching on WZZN, I reversed my camera, and Grizz, look right in the middle of the pit. He's looking up right now. You see the cowboy hat over there? He's on the other side of that wall. And I wonder if I should get him to come over here and ask him about why he didn't have a shirt on. But he's a big guy. He's like 400 pounds. You know what I mean? You see that?
You see the cowboy hat? Yeah, I see him. You also gave me an idea for future streams, too.
Yeah, what is that?
It's if we had 2 cameras.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Flipping it back and forth, seeing the extra vibe and everything like that. I still think that they should be able to see behind you.
Yeah.
Like with you just being completely clueless what's going on behind you. But like now that we know that, shirtless man's over there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. We would have missed that.
Here's the question that I have. And I'm not a technical guy, but maybe you would know, and who would definitely know would if you didn't know would be Captain Cool. If we had 2 cameras, okay, can you at your end switch between the 2 camera views, or would I have to have a mixer here where I would just press a button and like fade from one camera view to another? And the other thing is the cameras are connected via a USB port into a computer. But I guess a splitter would take care of that.
If you gave me, no. If there was...
If I had 2 feeds, I was giving you.
Your camera can hold 2 feeds. Yeah, I mean, it's going to still look pretty choppy at sometimes because of the internet. But, yeah, if you give me another view, I can flip it back and forth for sure. Yeah, as long as it shows up, yeah.
So I would need, and do they make a USB splitter to USB, 2 USBs?
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a camera behind me and a camera in front of me, then you could kind of fade back and forth between the 2 different shots.
Yeah, and this would be a good, be right back screen, too. Like, you can just keep the screen up and see what's going on at bomb hours. You'd have to maybe alert a couple people, they're live and everything like that. But, maybe people playing hooky from work and, they're at bomb hours or whatever.
Got nice struts right there. We got good. That's a good view over there. You can just see how cool it is here.
Oh, yeah.
Bomb hours.
It always looks good when you're able to, you can see the ambiance behind you and everything like that, and it's just showing you really, it's another added bonus, too, for everyone that's listening that, you want to watch the show as well. So
you can watch ESPN. There's Brian Windhorst over there. Outlook for Falcons offense in 2024 over there on this TV here. Look at this. Look at me. On this TV here, those who are watching WCZNT, see that? There's the Falcons right there, and it's the Outlook. That's what that one. They had the Arthur Blank on there. That might have been a replay from earlier in the day. I don't know, but there it is on this.
They got the coaches meetings going on right now and everything. So
there it is right there too. Outlook for Falcons offense. That's Tim Hasselbeck. That's the Hasselbeck that wasn't so good. He played. Do you know what that helmet is? There next to him. Wait a minute. Where is he?
I can barely see it.
Okay. We're looking at the wrong one. That's why.
Plus, I don't have my glasses.
Oh, it's this one here. This helmet here is the Berlin
Thunder?
The Berlin Thunder, the Berlin Hammer, whatever the Berlin team was.
They were the Thunder, I think.
They might have been the Berlin Thunder, but I don't know why they got a hammer showing. I don't know. I don't understand that either. Anyway, okay. Let's get a break. We'll come back. Phone lines are open if you want to jump in. You could jump in. Do I have the guts to ask that guy to come on here with me? I don't think I do. All right, we'll get a break. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97. I'm in the zoo on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
At Bryant Bank, we recognize your time is valuable, and easy, secure access to your finances is essential. That's why we provide the financial tools you need to manage your money on the go and make life a bit easier. At Bryant Bank, we're here to help with instant debit cards, Apple Pay, person-to-person payments, and more. Bryant bankers want to show you how beneficial our digital banking services can be. Learn more at bryantbank.com. Bryant Bank. Live legendary. Member FDIC.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
2 down, 4 to go.
Let's get out of here and head to L.A.
It's the Crimson Tide and the North Carolina Tar Heels in the Sweet 16.
Oh, in the lane, jump shot, reverse layup, good. Oh, the freshman growing up here.
Join us Thursday, live from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on your home for Alabama basketball. The Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Our steady diet consists of food and football, and occasionally some baseball and hoops.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Valley Equipment Rental. Everything you need to get the job done is at Valley Equipment Rental. I bet that dude over there in the cowboy hat goes to Valley Equipment Rental. Gets himself an air compressor when he needs it, or maybe he gets himself a jackhammer or a Mini X. I'm not sure he would fit in a Mini X. He might have to get the big excavator at Valley Equipment Rental. They got several of those. They got the dozers. They got everything at Valley Equipment Rental, and 2 locations, one on the North Parkway, one on the South Parkway. And our friend Ross Roberts, man, local. That's what we love about Ross, local dude. And, his whole family and business is local. And so when you do business with Valley Equipment Rental, you're doing business with a local Tennessee Valley contract or business, which we love, to be honest with you. All right. So Wolverine Dan hit the text window. He said, okay, it's hard sometimes reading a Wolverine Dan text thread, but I'm going to read it. He's commenting on LSU Lynch. He said, a time I just realized that LSU Lynch is the new Phillip. Tell him to have a smoke and chill out. Is taking shots at all the callers take a shot. I'm not sure about that. Better yet, take a volume, take a nap. So if we were to interpret this, if I were to interpret this, well, no, he's not the best texter in the world. He's got them big, sausage fingers and stuff.
They have autocorrect.
Yeah, but no.
Maybe that's what happened. He typed.
Every word is spelled correctly.
Vol.
Autocorrect fixed all the words. Every word is spelled correctly. It's just they don't go next to each other. He's got words in here that don't really go next to each other.
Speech to text.
Yeah. So I think he's saying that LSU Lynch is the new Phillip, and I tell him to have a smoke and chill out. Is taking shots at all the callers take a shot. I think he might have mean there is taking shots at all the callers a take.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's saying.
Have you not heard of the Paul Feinbaum show?
Well, that's what that's what LSU Lynch does. He basically is the critic of the show. He critiques everybody else's
Jim.
callers.
So LSU Lynch is Jim.
He's Jim. He's everybody. He's the one that comes in. And
I actually have him on still on. No, I'm just kidding.
He critiques other callers. And better yet, take a volume, take a nap. I think he might be saying take a Valium.
Yeah, I think that's what it meant.
Maybe
it was like Val instead of Vol.
Yeah, take a Valium and take a nap. Maybe that's where he was going with that. Those of you who are watching on WZZN TV, I still have the camera pointed the other way. It's somebody's birthday. They just sang happy birthday to somebody. Cactus Jack is still over there on the other side, eating. He's so big that they're sitting at a booth. He's with like 4 other people, and so there's 2 on one side of the table at the booth. Am I talking lower and lower now? Just don't want to get his attention. You got 2 people on one side of the booth and 2 people on the other side of the booth, and he's in a chair at the end of the booth. It's like, okay, we want a booth except for him. Okay, we're gonna have a booth.
You can't fit him.
We need a booth and a chair. Okay, that's that guy. He's that guy. He said we need a booth and a chair is what we need. All right. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show. We are going to have Justin Hamner on the show tomorrow, and we're going to have Josh Carey on the show. We'll break out Carey's Corner, start talking baseball. Tomorrow is the eve of baseball opening. Grizz, I have no idea why they're doing this tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah,
why
Thursday,
is baseball opening on the same day as the Sweet 16 gets going?
Because they hate us. They hate fans. They hate people that still love the sport, and they hate the younger generation, it seems.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to be dominated by the college basketball tournament, by the madness.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to pay attention to the baseball, right?
Yeah.
And then if they had started, if opening day was Monday, wouldn't they have the whole week to themselves?
Yeah.
Because the Final Four would be set, and it isn't until the weekend, and they would have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'd be talking about the opening about baseball season.
Yeah, like you said, games should be all day on.
Stupid.
Games should be all day on opening day, or you get one live game. How does that help the younger generation being able to watch it? You make all these other types of sport.
We get one game. It's at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
But we'll have like 4 or 5, other types of games that people don't watch. But
Crazy.
it is.
Makes no sense. All right, that's going to do it for us. Coming up next, it's the Paul Feinbaum Show. It's Taco Tuesday as well down there at the Furniture Factory, so take that in with Steve and Wes later on. I'm Thom Abraham, and this is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.